Let's go, Arkansas fans. It's so good to have met so many of you in Fayetteville. Thanks to everyone that stopped me saying hi. This is my first time in Fayetteville in a while. And we're going to do mostly TAYLEN GREEN reps, but we'll throw a few defensive reps mixed in there as well. Now, it is second and McCrory, okay? You have got to be able to fill your gaps in the running game. Now, Landon Jackson decides to take a pass set here because he's thinking that this is going to be a pass. So when you do that, it widens the gap right here for the running back to run through. Now, the issue here is you actually do have every gap accounted for. It's just Xavier Sori gets caught too much to the inside. His gap is actually right here, okay? But, you see he steps over too far this way. This DT has the A gap right here. You've got to be able to come over here and fill. And Caden Durham's just a better athlete than Xavier Sori, right? And this is just a young true freshman that's truly special, right? And now this is Jalen Johnson. This is as big of an age gap you're going to see, a year 5-ish going up against a true freshman. You got to make a play. And he's just not able to. Your single digits have got to make plays if you want to pull the upset. And Sori does get back into it, but it's too late, and it's a touchdown. LSU had a penalty, and you had an opportunity to capitalize. You just couldn't do it. So, honestly, this offensive game plan for Arkansas worked out, right? This was something that I talked about in Patreon, right? LSU has really struggled with in-breaking routes, okay? So this DB right here is Major Burns, who's had his issues in coverage this year. You see he has inside leverage. He decides to let Arkansas's best player run free, which is what you don't want to do, right? This is a very scary sight for a defense. The good thing is that it's not an explosive play per se over the top, but you never want Andrew Armstrong picking up 20 yards on you that easy. And honestly, I think Bobby Petrino called a really good game. I'm serious. I really do think so. Fake pitch to the left, and now you get TAYLEN GREEN on a rollout to the right side. Once again, a very scary sight for the SEC, a little ball pad. And once again, the over route, this is not a good sight, right? Andrew Armstrong in this much space. Sage Ryan has been an unsure tackler this year for LSU, and he misses that one as well, and it's a huge game. All right, so this is exotic. You're never going to see this from anyone else. And honestly, did LSU pick this up, or did Arkansas pick this up okay? This isn't the worst pickup, right? This is such an exotic look. And, I'm not mad that Arkansas couldn't protect that, because what are you going to do? I mean, you've never seen that before. So, Blake Baker's just a madman. This guy's just a freaking genius, right? He tore you guys up with Missouri last year. This is a huge hit. Was it targeting? No, it's a clean hit. And Arkansas has to settle for a field goal, and they miss it. Okay? It's good stuff from Bo Davis helping TAYLEN GREEN up. Good stuff. All right, Arkansas fans, you guys know I have been critical of Rashad Dubinion. And look, this should be a one-possession game. You missed a field goal you were supposed to make. LSU made their field goals. Simple zone blocking play to the right, okay? This honestly is really good run blocking, right? This is 99 Gio Pius. He's been a pretty solid DT. You're able to get him to the opposite side A-gap, okay? That's really good stuff. I know this looks like he just whiffed this block, which he did, right? But you want him to go to your left side. That's why he's on the ground. He was just so heavy set to the right side that you want him to over-penetrate. That's really good run blocking. And look, you're clean through. You just got to be able to hold on to the football. And another thing about Dubinion is this has always been the MO on him. He's not a single-digit playmaker, right? I understand you were stopped just a little bit by a good player, but I understand the fumble is the worst thing, but you're one-on-one through a safety. Make a guy miss. Don't just run directly into him. Do something, and he's not able to. So part of why this fumble happened is he got hit so square that it allowed Greg Penn, who had a big game in Fayetteville a few years ago, to get back into this, and he's able to jar it loose, right? So 3rd and 13. And, I brought this up in our film study. Garrett Nussmeier has a tendency to throw the football into heavy coverage. If you're going to pull off the upset, I understand this is a difficult play. It's a linebacker, by the way, 30, the transfer from Jacksonville State. That's a tough play. But if you're going to beat LSU in a rivalry game, you got to make it. You just do. Alrighty, so we want to welcome in a new partner. Our friends at Sequoia Dental, baby. Hit them up in Northwest Arkansas. So excited to have Sequoia Dental be the presenting partner of all our Razorback coverage. So this could not have happened without you guys. It really could not have happened. As Jaquin Jackson makes a really good run in the backdrop. So if it wasn't for all the numbers we've put up, we would have never been able to bring in a partner like this. So for all your dental needs, cosmetic, cleanings, make sure you check out our friends at Sequoia Dental. Let's go. All right, so after Jaquin Jackson picked up that nice gain, the guy that we told you about, or I warned you about, was Whit Weeks, okay? And we'll talk about Whit a little bit later, but, this is ridiculous that TAYLEN GREEN just ran by Whit Weeks with ease. Now, we'll talk about what happened a little bit later in the game, but, man, this is just crazy stuff from TAYLEN. All right, 2nd and 8, and, man, this is really, really, really good quarterbacking. Once again, we are not set up correctly, okay? And this is honestly just good stuff from TAYLEN GREEN, right? So this is how I would teach my quarterbacks to play. So once again, I'm not a coach, not a certified quarterback mechanic expert or anything like that. But basically, if there's any type of middle pressure from backers, we always want to throw to the intermediate middle. And LSU's defense was not able to pass this route off. And obviously, if you're TAYLEN, this does need to be just a little bit quicker, if you ask me. But this is better stuff. He sees that the safety is that wide open. We can get here a little bit quicker because this almost was a big negative play, but he does get there eventually. The good thing about you getting there quicker is now Whit Weeks, the superstar, is able to come in and make this play, and Satania doesn't have as much room to operate. So it's okay quarterbacking, but it could be quicker. So I understand the score's 13-0, and obviously you want touchdowns on the board. But y'all, TAYLEN GREEN played fine in this first half, okay? This was not on him, and I understand, I've been very critical of him. But, as I rewatched this, full game really quickly before starting this, I think it's 4 in the morning or whatever, that's really good quarterbacking right there on the comeback route. All right, and this is really good stuff right here from Arkansas. It's a very creative way to run smash, right? So smash is any variation of a high-low read of this player. So you're running a deep corner here and then a shallow over here in the flat. And this is just really good football. You add a play-action fake into it. Look at all this gravity Jaquin Jackson brings to the offense. That is a ridiculous amount of gravity, right? So now you're doing a short rollout against the grain here, and this is your flat. This holds this corner, and honestly, this is just a blown coverage. You can see LSU slides into middle of the field close, so this corner should have been in this deep third, and it's just a bust because number one saw that Hasz was going into the flat. We had that covered. We as in LSU, obviously, and this is just an easy read. Good play design right here by Bobby Petrino to tackle only a year or two corner. Now, Stamps has been a decent player this year for LSU, but it's just really, really, really good offense. Okay, if there was one bright spot, Luke Hasz had some really good plays in this game, and this is really good quarterbacking from TAYLEN GREEN, okay? So it's middle of the field close coverage. So if it's middle of the field close and it's man-to-man, you want to work over here, right? And this is a good job by TAYLEN GREEN seeing the leverage of this linebacker, right? He is on the inside shoulder of Luke Hasz, so he knows that Luke Hasz has a leverage advantage. And that's just, it honestly is really, really, really good quarterbacking, okay? Now, once again, everything can be a bit sooner, okay? He does hold this just until it's wide open. Still, this is just really good quarterbacking. Hits him in the upfield shoulder, and, God, good stuff from Luke. And he survives a hip drop tackle here from Greg Penn. If you want to know what a hip drop tackle is, there was one that happened in the Missouri game that hurt their their quarterback. Okay, 3rd and 10, and LSU decides to get very exotic. Okay, they bring a lot of pressure, and God, this is just good stuff from Arkansas. They slide the protection to the right to the strength call. Okay, so that was a good job by TAYLEN or whoever decided to call it. Okay, you are a little vulnerable to a blitz on this backside, but that's why I have a running back here. And man, this is just really good stuff. Okay, from TAYLEN to find the stop right at the sticks, and you could have had even Satania, but Tesla makes a good catch. So Bobby Petrino, I don't know if this was by design, but this is true freshman linebacker Devon Keys, and right when he gets into the game, guess what? You run an NFL tight end, Luke Hasz, right at him, and it's just good football. And this is some growth from TAYLEN Green, seeing the matchup instead of just taking it and running with it. Now, if he decides to just tuck and take these yards, that wouldn't be a bad option versus man coverage, but he takes advantage of that matchup and throws with some somewhat decent anticipation, and he hits Luke Hasz right there. It's good stuff. It was 3rd and 6, and man, I am shocked Bobby Petrino tried to do this again. Okay, he actually ran this versus LSU last year for a critical 2-point conversion, and it should have worked. It was just bad quarterbacking. This probably works too. I'm not able to see the back end, but what he's doing here is he's actually running a triple mesh. So it's a drag here, and a shallow drag going this way. And he's going to be so frustrated that this didn't work again because the right tackle over here overset. So we'll go ahead and just we'll start with the protection here. 76 just gets beat. Savion Jones had another really good game for LSU. And he was just so massive in 2022 as well. And that gives JVR Suggs this sack right here. Okay. Now, would something have opened up here? Probably. This DB is trailing. I would love to see. Yeah, this is probably open. Okay. Yeah, that's probably open. It just depends, like, if we had a wider angle, if TAYLEN could have had that, but the protection broke down, and you have to take a long field goal. LSU has to punt, and this is still a competitive game, right? You get the stop, and this is just really good offense, but a better play. Okay, so it's an RPO read, and this is what you're supposed to do. You want to hit Andrew Armstrong on the comeback route. If he catches this, it's one-on-one right here. There's a safety here, but you're picking up at least 6 or 7. So it's just a typical thing, but this guy's just a freak of nature, right? And Harold Perkins also wore number 40 when he was in Fayetteville. This is a new number 40. And Whit Weeks just makes a ridiculous play. I mean, there's just no other way around it. It's just an absolutely ridiculous play. It's not great quarterbacking, obviously, through a pick, but it's also just more a spectacular play, if anything. So this was a crazy trip for me because I never in a million years, I'm serious, would have thunk that I would get to go to this game and there be people that stop me from the SEC channel side of things. And I know I wasn't able to take photos with everyone, but a lot of what you're seeing right now are friends of mine that have been my lifelong friends, but some of it is people that I've gotten to meet through YouTube, and I was able to put, some faces to names, which is really cool. And thank you guys. Our live shows are growing every Mondays at 5 p.m. Central. It was so good to see each and every one of you. But all of that aside, I know a lot of you think, hey, I'm going to victory lap LSU in your face. But the truth is, I actually do have a lot of respect for the Arkansas program, and I'm happy for my friends when the team is good. Except for this game, baby. It's a battle for the Golden Boot, and it will remain in Baton freaking Rouge. So this is the name of the game, right? If you make mistakes like Arkansas did, you're just going to lose, right, if you play good teams. And LSU, of course, is a good team. And, man, it was just mistake after mistake after mistake, and Satania makes one here. And coming off a bye week, you thought Arkansas would be a little bit sharper. But there's been a lot of teams this year in the SEC that have just not been sharp after bye. So there will be more defensive Arkansas reps in my LSU film study on Power Hour LSU. So make sure you check it out there. But the bottom line is I don't think TAYLEN GREEN played bad at all. Obviously, it was the ecosystem of everything around it. So look, the bottom line is you got to play better to win in the SEC, and it's a week-to-week league now, and you got to go out there and make plays. But this was not on TAYLEN. This was just an overall lousy team effort. So you're taking a look at the final stats. It's kind of a weird stat line, and that's because when you turn the football over and you don't make field goals and you are just constantly behind by 2 possessions, it's kind of hard to establish a running game, right? And this was an LSU defense that was tired, right? They had played 85 snaps a week before versus Ole Miss, and the fact that you couldn't get your run game going was kind of shocking. So, look, with all the turnovers and stuff, it's kind of hard to really just say anything other than you just can't turn the football over. And I'll talk more about this on my LSU film study. There was a lot of easy completions, such as this one, right? I understand this was first play of the game, but on this drive in particular, there was just so many pitch and catch first downs that were just very easy, right? I don't think this was T. Will's best game either. I also think some of it is this was the first truly great thrower of the football that you guys played all season long. Right? Garrett is probably the best thrower in the entire SEC, maybe in all of college football, when it comes to just throwing the football. So, yeah, once again, please go support our friends at Sequoia Dental. Pretty excited about that. And I honestly think, because I know some people are very disappointed that Sam in this Golden Boot did not put out a good effort, Sam Pittman. I've been very critical of Sam, but let's see how this team responds after that before, we get the full pitchforks out for him, okay? Fable, thank you for welcoming with you guys with open arms. I really appreciate it. I know I didn't say that smoothly at all. It's 4 a.m. It is Power Hour SEC. Boom! And tonight we are doing... I just ate some Taco Bell from DoorDash, and I'm feeling it right now. Let's go.